The Eclipse, the Goddess and the Queen, talking about the spiritual effect of the solar eclipse tomorrow, August 21st, 2017. Well, sisters, unless you have been living under a rock, you know that there will be an eclipse across North America tomorrow. And while we are not in the totality path here in Southern California, we will still be able to see the shadow across the sun, and still the astrological and astronomical energies do indeed affect us. So, if you Google eclipse, you will find so much fear-based astrological information about this particular eclipse and what it is supposed to mean. And one of the fear-based pieces of information that I keep seeing is that negative entities have 1,000 times more power during an eclipse than at any other time. Jumpin' Jalfreza, here we go again with the fear being thrown at us by those who would try to control us. As my grandmother used to say, give me strength to bear this cross. Oh, wait, I'm a goddess woman. I don't have a cross. Yay! We women are not falling for this dominator model fear crap. So, anyway, we are all told to be very concerned because these entities supposedly can harm us, just like this image is supposed to convince us that light and dark are set against each other in some kind of eternal battle between good and evil and good and bad. What nonsense! Light and dark are both necessary and both good and both of the divine. Let's not use the word dark to describe something negative, unwanted, or evil. It's racist. It's not actually entirely untrue that negative energies have 1,000 times more power during an eclipse, but the point is that all energies are amplified during an eclipse. So negative intentions will also be amplified, of course. But these do not have to harm us unless we are radiating a fear-based consciousness that actually draws these negativities to us through resonance. What is true is that our positive, loving, compassionate, trusting energies are also amplified. We know that we can either create from clarity and consciousness, or we can shrink in fear. And I ain't no shrinker, and neither are you. I'm for creating goodness in a consciousness of clarity. And that is what we're doing here together as women at the Goddess Temple of Orange County and the Queen Teachings. Apart from not being in fear, there are some useful things one can know about tomorrow's eclipse. First, the physical. The ancients teach us that it is best not to eat 12 hours before an eclipse, and it's also best not to have sex or do chores or any kind of regular work during an eclipse. The ancient life science of Ayurveda says don't do anything rajasic or tamasic during an eclipse, only sattvic. So what does that mean? Well, this is a whole area of study that takes years to really learn. But basically, there are three gunas in Ayurveda, sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. And gunas is a word that means what binds consciousness in this reality. Sattva is the quality of divine intelligence, virtue, goodness, and it creates harmony, balance, and stability. It is light as opposed to heavy, and it is luminous. It awakens the soul. Rajas is about change, activity, turbulence, action, outward motion. For us as humans, it is stimulating and provides pleasure, but that pleasure can quickly turn to pain and suffering. Tamas is the quality of dullness and inertia. It is heavy, veiling, or obstructing in nature, like gravity that holds things in place. That's tamas. That's tamasic. None of these three is bad, and all are necessary for life to exist on the physical plane. But the ancients specifically say that because of the amplifying nature of eclipses. Only do sattvic things during the short time before, during, and after an eclipse. Meditate, pray, read affirmations, focus on beauty, goodness, truth, love. Avoid sex, eating, sleeping, TV watching, working at your computer, or using your cell phone. Not eating will be easy for most of us since the eclipse will happen here in Southern California in the morning. After the eclipse, eat very lightly and only clean, fresh food, vegetables, fruits, nuts. No dense foods like meat. Keep it light. Many wise teachers say that it is actually best to stay indoors during an eclipse and spend the time making offerings to one's ancestors, praying and meditating. But if you do choose to go outside during the eclipse to view it, please be sure to wear those glasses to protect your eyes. Whether you are indoors or out, before the eclipse begins, do make offerings to your own ancestresses. Outside, there are so many ways to do this. One way is to take a single hair from your head and with reverence wrap it around a plant as your offering of energy. Another way is to gather your saliva in your mouth, bless it, and then release it with love, respect, and reverence to the ground, returning appreciation in your water blessing to Mother Earth. You can also pour a sacred libation onto the ground, speaking your appreciation. You can bury a piece of juicy fruit shallowly in the soil or leave it under a plant for the crows or the fairies. There are so many things you can do to honor your ancestresses and honor Mother Earth. So be creative and enjoy that process. In a total eclipse, as the moon crosses in front of the sun, one sees a couple of things, the diamond ring and then the corona. The corona glowing is for those women, those of us who attend to the queen principles. The corona represents the crown of the queen. And just before that, just before the moon completely covers the sun, one sees what is often referred to as the diamond ring, which is represented by the circular corona with a very bright spot off to one side, like a diamond ring shining in the sky, just for a moment. This represents us as an individual woman choosing to marry ourselves first. Sure, many of us choose to marry a partner, but as the Goddess Temple and the Queen teachings share, it is most important first to marry oneself, to commit to oneself first and foremost, before anyone else. So, during the eclipse, if you are able to see the diamond ring symbol in the sky, allow yourself to focus for that few moments powerfully on the fact that you choose to marry yourself first and foremost. You commit completely to yourself, to your benefit, to your greater good, because only from a full cup of strength can you give to or commit to anyone else. When the moon moves in front of the sun fully and the diamond ring disappears, then you see only the crown of the sun, or the corona. At this point, if you wish, if it pleases you, consider that this is Goddess reminding you that you are crowned. You, woman, are the queen of humanity. Just as an aside, both the Queen teachings and the Goddess Temple teach that both the sun and the moon are female, and this is the oldest teaching on earth. Later patriarchal traditions claim the duality, the oppositionality, that the sun is male and the moon is female. But we do not believe that here at the Goddess Temple and with the Queen teachings. We teach that both the sun and the moon are female. And one great example of a most ancient goddess of the sun is Sekhmet, the ancient Egyptian goddess with the solar disk upon her beautiful head. So, as you witness, or if perhaps you are indoors, as you reflect on the corona of the sun, if you wish, allow that corona glowing above you to crown you and your life. See yourself as a crowned queen, a sovereign woman, giving and receiving easily and gracefully, full to overflowing with your four powers of woman, the sisterhood, joy, and freedom of the maiden in you, the passion, creativity, and love of the mother in you, the vision, gratitude, and boundaries of the queen in you, the magic, the mystery, and peace of the wise woman in you. Sure, you're a human woman, yes, with a few little imperfections perhaps, but even so, see yourself as a spiritual leader of a humanity that obviously so desperately needs you now. No matter how little you think you have to offer, resolve to lead as a queen by example. You are the best hope of humanity. Be the best you can be in your life so others may be inspired by your peace and your beauty, by your power and your goodness, by your authenticity and your heart. The 40 days following an eclipse are also extremely important energetically. So continue to hold the good, continue to focus on that which you want, combining the thought of what you desire to manifest with the feeling of already having that. Act as if. This is actually the way to communicate most effectively with the divine matrix. And, they never remind you that matrix comes from the word mother. So when you hear the term divine matrix, as some teachers use, just know that that really means divine mother. This is the way, acting as if, is the way to access the quantum field of all potential from which all is conceived. The quantum field of all potential is actually the good dark womb of the Great Mother, from which all things are conceived. Remember that all energies are amplified and multiplied right now. So focus only on what you want. Anything you don't want in your life, bless it with no judgment, and then turn your focus to what you do desire, what you do intend. We know this is how truly effective body workers operate. If energetic workers are working on, say, a woman with a tumor, they do not judge the tumor and wish it gone. They don't consider the tumor bad. Rather, they calmly bless it as being part of reality. They acknowledge its presence simply as one of the infinite possibilities that can manifest in an infinite multiverse. Then they refocus all their consciousness on what they choose to manifest next, a completely healthy body. It's not about the tumor. The picture on the left is an actual ultrasound of a woman's bladder tumor disappearing from this reality in less than 3 minutes as energetic workers saw her as completely healthy and felt joyful about it. It's never about getting rid of something. That actually cannot be done. If all is one, if that is a divine principle that is true, we cannot ever actually get rid of something. You can never really throw something away. There is no away. Rather, it is about refocusing one's consciousness on the desired thing, then adding energy to that thought with the feeling of how we feel having, doing, or being that thing. The picture on the right is of a group of people gathering to practice a type of Chinese Qigong called cultivating intelligent energy. And that's it. That's the key. Holding the thought of what you desire, energized with the feeling of already having it. Patriarchy tells us a lot of lies about the queen archetype in woman. She's the bitch, the diva. All the old fairy tales say she's evil. And then there's, who do you think you are to think of yourself as queen? That's one of the greatest patriarchal reversals, that the queen is bad, is evil. The truth is that the queen is the archetype of power in woman most needed today. The dominator model of society and all the negativity, the injustice, the cruelty that we see today in our own leaders, this situation would not exist if every woman brought forth her queen powerfully. Cruelty, oppression, injustice cannot exist in the same space and time as the good queen. She holds a good vision for humanity. She holds compassionate leadership, strong boundaries for all that is life denying. And do we ever need strong boundaries now for those things which are life denying, those people who are life denying? The queen is the one who holds strong boundaries. Without the queen, boundaries are not held. The queen is the power of woman to bring forth a new civilization of peace and prosperity and justice, of cooperation, compassion, and freedom. So let us be good queens for ourselves, for our families, for all humanity. Let's use this special astrological and astronomical time to really get the power of this ancient teaching in our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, in our bones. And we are the good queens of our realm, and we are a great gift of inspiration to all. I thank all our members, all the amazing women of the Goddess Temple of Orange County, for being an inspiration to me. Blessed be.